BBAI has closed at 548, remaining in the zone of $5 and $6, guys. Trying to find a squeeze-like effect out. We have a little bit of back and forth continuing to go on after those bad fundamentals, which really gap stock down. Now, there's a whole lot going on with the stock market currently. We have seen a bit of back and forth, a little bit of bearish price action on the overall market recently, and we do have Powell speaking tomorrow. We do remain bullish on BBAI as long as we can hold above that $5 level. And we noted in the last video, guys, very nice correction from that overall pullback. It would have been nice to see BBI continue and get right back in this range of $6.22 and $8. Although we do see a bit of a rejection once we get up to that zone, which we predicted either would get a rejection there, or if we got over there, it would be looking very bullish. We do get a rejection, which makes sense because that's a very prominent level, and it was a prominent support as we were in the zone. But today we're going to analyze if we should be expecting to get a retest at that zone where we could claim that and get fully back in the zone of $8 and $6.22. All right, guys, kicking this analysis on the weekly, we see a lot of volatile price action. That's the main thing BBAI does, right? We have these big moves up and big moves down. Very often we see that full retracement after a very big move to the upside. As you can see, almost every time we've gotten a big move up, we've gotten a full retracement. And here we see a little bit of different price action. We see a lot more hold up, right? See about 6 weeks of price action within the range of $6 and $8. Even though we got bad fundamentals, guys, we do see buyers step in here. They bring us back to around that low of that range, right? That $6 level. But once again, like we saw on the daily, that 622 holds up as resistance. So from a weekly perspective, definitely not looking great for the bulls, right? It's not looking great given that we have broken out of that chop-like range. But you do have to keep in mind, we did buy a lot of that bad move to the downside back up, but we do kind of continue that pullback after trying to retest that range. So weekly stands pretty neutral slash slightly bearish given this overall price nature. But we're going to shift to the daily to see a better perspective. All right, guys, on the daily chart, so we see exactly what was going on here, that big gap down, and we do see buyers step in here when they have to step in. And then we see a little bit of back and forth, which makes sense as we're retesting that $6 level, trying to get around that range again. We do see a bit of back and forth. Buyers try to really claim that range, but like we explained, that 622 would be a tough spot. And that's exactly what it is. Reject there, try to retest it, reject, and continue to the downside. We do see some nice buying pressure here, but today we do see a good amount of selling pressure as the buyers try to move up, but no real control. Very, very thin candle as the sellers close in favor. So not a great sign on the short term, guys, but as long as we stay above that $5 level, I think that we could continue to see a bit of chop here, a possible retest of 6, where that 622 would be the ultimate level we really got to claim and stay over to fully get back within this chop range here of $8 and 622. So right now we do remain quite neutral on the short term of BBAI, guys. I think that the main thing we have to look out for is holding within this range. We really tried to squeeze out of that 618 level, as you see testing that a few times. We really couldn't get that squeeze, and then the bad fundamentals really bring us downwards. But right here, guys, you could be seeing a bit of tightening price action as the stock can really get tight. And as long as it has the ability to stay above that $5 level, we won't be getting that full retracement like we're so used to seeing on BBAI. So right now in the short term, guys, keep your eye on that retest of $6. I think as long as volume can flush in here, as we see volume has dried up quite a bit after that big kind of correction to the upside. If volume can really come in here as we've reached all-time levels once we got that breakout, we could be seeing a retest of $6. I think after a big buy up here, guys, shows that the buyers are remaining in this game, and the fact that we rejected is completely normal. I think it's very premature that we find a little bit of a pullback notion, right? We do see considerable buying pressure here. As long as we can kind of fight it out with the buyers and the sellers, guys, still looking very nice for that retest of $6. So main zones, guys, watch for that $5 to continue to hold as a nice support, and watch for that $6 for the break, and then the retest of 622, that being the top resistance, getting us out of there and back within the zone we want to get back into, because our main price targets are 872, retesting that high, as well as the last previous run up, that being 1036. All right, guys, on the hourly, this gets a better perspective of the chop, right? We see that big gap down like we explained. We see that buyback, and then we kind of see trying to break that 622. We get up, we trend up to that important level, try to break it. That's where we see sellers try to find that momentum and bring us down, but buyers buy right back up, retest right around that zone, and then you see sellers kind of step in here. But we don't come back down to the floor. We do see a bit of back and forth and tightening price action on the hourly. So we are in a pretty neutral spot for the short term. So completely normal price action, guys. I think that we could be getting that possible retest within that zone. I don't necessarily think this has to be the pullback notion where We're kind of building up energy for a long time before we get that move up. We're still in a volatile state with BBAI, very much so. In the next couple of weeks of price action will be very crucial. We could be building up some energy within these zones of 5 and 6 is not out of the question, right? We could have an energy building phase here before moving up higher, like we saw on the daily guys. Like we saw on the daily guys, really energy building phases before those big moves to the upside, really getting tight, energy builds, boom, big move to the upside. But I think we do get the move sooner than later, given we are still in a pretty volatile point with BBAI. But for the short term, guys, real price targets pretty neutral here, but I do think that we get that retest of $6 and 622 if we can break that $6. And if bears do remain in this descending notion here, guys, watch that $5 to hold up as strong support, trending us back up to that 6 where you look for that break. So BBI, definitely nothing to worry about right here. We stand neutral to slightly bullish on BBI. I think we still have some juice left in us. If volume can really seep back in here, that's what you want to be seeing. As we hit those all-time levels, and we have been in a bit of a descending motion, do remain bullish, but in the short term, could be seeing a little bit of an energy building phase before finding that volatile move to the upside. So all I got for you guys today. Let me know your BBI predictions in the comments below. You guys think we're getting that move sooner than later, or is this going to be a bit of an energy building phase where price kind of chops around for a bit before finding that move to the upside? If you want to see more BBI content, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, trade smart. I'll see you all in the next one.